What's good, people? This is DJ Cypher. I appreciate y'all. I listen to music so you don't have to, and we are here with another video, this time addressing how J. Cole actually won the war. If you don't know me, I'm Cypher. I listen to music so you don't have to. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can see more great videos like this when they pop up and when they pop out and appear. I appreciate y'all. So here's the thing. We're talking about J. Cole, okay? J. Cole, if you don't know, is part of this storyline with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. For those who live under a rock or just don't really know what's going on in cultural society, this has been taking over the year of 2024 and it's starting to bleed into 2025 with subtle events, capping off with the Super Bowl and how Kendrick had performed at the halftime show. But let's go back just a little bit. It all started with Kendrick Lamar's verse with Metro Boomin, song like that, right? So Kendrick basically addressed Drake and said that, this is not a big three, it's just big me. And he started giving setting all these double entendres and metaphors, basically saying that Drake and them ain't really hitting on nothing. Kendrick's number one. He gonna put all his dogs to sleep, basically like the album Drake just did, for all the dogs, which was pretty much trash, I'm sorry. So that's what he did, and it pretty much was a direct shot to Drake and subtly to J. Cole. Cole decided to drop out of what was going to be something crazy. Because Drake, at one point, I don't know which one came first. Honestly, I don't know if Drake put out push-ups first or if Cole put out his apology first, but I know Cole responded first. I'm pretty sure that happened first. Cole responded with 7-minute drill, basically a diss to Kendrick, and also added it to his album he just dropped, Might Delete Later, and it ended up taking away from the album a lot. Might Delete Later was actually, to me, a classic. I still listen to a lot of songs to this day, but what everybody was listening to and looking for was that diss, which pretty much ruined the validity of that album, only and majorly because J. Cole retracted what he said. He basically said, that's not me. I don't want to lose a brother off of this. I'll take it on the chin. I'll be the bigger man, basically. His squad didn't want him to do it. Rep fans didn't want him to do it. The world didn't want him to do it, but he did it. And people clowned him for it, saying he's not part of the big three no more. He's just another guy. He's just soft. He should not have dropped out of it. He just did what he wanted to do, and it didn't really help anything. So, fast forward, Drake decided to release Push-Ups. Big diss to Kendrick. No response. Cool. Drake releases Tailor Made. Not as widely received. No. People didn't really care for that. With AI Snoop Dogg and AI Tupac. Kendrick responds with Euphoria. Sets the world ablaze. We finally got the battle and the war started. And then he also hits you with the Sometime in Compton track. I didn't really just care for that one as much as the other ones, but it was there. Drake hit you with the Family Matters. Kendrick hit you with the Meet the Grams. Kendrick hit you with the Not Like Us. Drake hit you with the Heart Part 6. It all just went back and forth. So it all came together. At the end, Kendrick won the battle, right? He won, hands down. Drake started releasing random songs off of this little EP called 3 Gigs or whatever. None of them was really hitting on nothing. It's like he's pretty much throwing stuff on the wall, seeing what would stick. Nothing stuck. And people kept bringing down Drake's clout. Like, I don't really mess with Drake like that. I don't really listen to Drake like that. So Drake kept going down and Kendrick kept going up. And then Kendrick dropped the album GNX, which set up a new resume of songs waiting to be listened to. And they did. It got numbers and again further buried Drake. And then to reward him for pretty much dismantling Drake, the Super Bowl decided to give Kendrick Lamar the halftime show. And Kendrick Lamar would then perform all these songs and then end it with Not Like Us, right? And then he wasn't supposed to do that song, but he did, and it caused more controversy. And Drake walking around with bullet holes in his shirt saying he's still alive thanks to the fans, with smoke coming off his shirt at concerts. It's a whole thing, right? It's a dramatic story, right? So overall, at the end, Kendrick won. So you're wondering, what does J. Cole have to do with this? Well, if you haven't noticed, right, Kendrick dropped the GNX. He did drop it late last year. It was big, most notably for TV Off and Whacked Out Morals. But Not Like Us wasn't on there. And most of Kendrick's new fans are fans of Not Like Us. So, a lot of people thought that the halftime performance was okay. Because they weren't real Kendrick Lamar fans, they were fans of Not Like Us that Kendrick Lamar happened to do. That's the main point. That's what I want to get across, because a lot of Kendrick's newfound fans are fans based on the fact that they're talking about Drake, and then Not Like Us is a big record. Without Not Like Us, a lot of those fans would not be here to this day. So even though the album had great reception, the final stab, the final wound in the battle at the halftime show was a pretty split decision. A lot of people that love hip hop and Kendrick Lamar fans liked it, and a lot of people that don't really know much about hip hop and don't really like Kendrick but love Drake did not like it. You may be like, well, it doesn't matter if they don't like Kendrick, still made the statement. Yes, he did. But when you do that, now people are looking for more of that. Not necessarily more Kendrick, but more of that, right? So there's not going to be any more of that unless it's coming from Drake, because Kendrick already dropped his album and he's going on tour with SZA this summer. So there's a big gap between now and there. It's at least 3 months, right? So Kendrick's not going to be dropping nothing. He's not going to be doing nothing. He's going to be using that fuel for the tour. Okay? Drake is still trying to gain back everything he lost with losing his fans, losing the clout, losing the idea of him being number one, losing legal battles, the whole Sue thing, all that he's trying to recover from to get back in the good graces of the people. And kind of the label too. So while they're doing that, and Kendrick is not focused on that, and Drake is saying he's moved on the Party Next Door Drake collab album, he's moved past that, whatever, we'll see. But nobody's really caring about them unless they have their thing happening, and there's nothing they really got going. Drake already released his body work with Party Next Door, unless he got a surprise, and Kendrick already released GNX, so that's what we're listening to right now. So they're not really doing nothing, and if they're doing something but nobody cares unless it's the battle, then what do you do? Because nobody cared about the PND and Drake joint album. Come on, I don't remember what's called Some Sexy Songs for You. It was weird. They're both 40. It was weird. But anyway, now that they've done that, now we're moving on to something else. So what were we talking about now? We're talking about Drake, Kendrick, what? No, because there's no drama. There's no battle. People love drama. They love battles. They love stuff that happens that ain't supposed to happen. They love diss records. They love the dismantling of another person's character. So if that's not happening, then what we do? We're not listening to either one of them. Nobody cares. But one person that we are listening to is J. Cole. And why? It's Kendrick and Drake's fault. Because they set the bar so high with these diss records that if anybody is going to drop a record, it has to be up there to care. The Weeknd just dropped the album last month. Nobody talked about it. Nobody cares. People been dropping left and right all year. Nobody talked about it. Nobody cares, because it's not the same level as a Drake or Kendrick as far as being good or being lyrically sound. But you know who can sound good and be lyrically sound and be good lyrically? J. Cole. And he has, because after the dust and settled, he even put out a couple records, and people are starting to see that this is the new bar. He put out Port Antonio. He put out Clouds. And he pretty much said that he let the situation go because he's heavier minded, basically, if you want to put it like that. Plus, I think he's older than both of them. I think he's actually is 40, if not 39. So when he's dropping and people are hearing it, like, wow, this sounds good and it's lyrical. But we know that because it's Cole. And he sounds confident. He sounds like he's in his prime, and he said he was in his prime a couple times. So maybe he's about to take over and drop something. And guess who's still going to be recovering from their battle and their wounds? Drake and Kendrick Lamar. So now the new bar is set, because the diss records were so big and so talked about that if you're not dissing somebody or having a really lyrical song, nobody cares. You got everybody dissing people now. You got Bad Baby dissing somebody we don't even know. A lot of people don't even know who Bad Baby is. But everybody's trying to diss somebody to get some type of attention. So if you're not doing that, cool. At least be really lyrical. Have some lyrical prowess. Have some great songs. Nobody's really doing that right now except for Gunna. And that's why I put that video on my page. How Gunna put himself in the big three. Because he's technically there, just not in the same path as far as the lyricism. Even though he has some nice bars. But J. Cole is the only one that can contend with Drake and Kendrick at the moment as far as people caring. I'm not saying he's the only one that can actually box with them lyrically. I'm saying he's the only one at the moment ATM, that really care. People really care to listen to right now. So Drake and Kendrick kind of dropped the ball with that, because now they're going to be known as the ones that fought each other, and people want to hear that only. And when they hear records from Kendrick, like they did with GNX, they're going to reference that back to what he did against Drake and assume that all that is in spite of their battle, while Drake is trying to recover from something he really can't recover from. He lost bad. So there's no really need to connect that. There's no way you can. So they're kind of in limbo, because the most talked about two artists in the game are now, they need each other now, technically, for people to really care. But Cole don't need neither one, because Cole can stand on his own with his music and his words and his wisdom. So that's how J. Cole is winning this thing, and that's how he won the war, because he decided to let them fight each other and tire themselves out. So when they do get tired and fall back, he can take charge and be the main one talked about and dropping brilliant music. And that was very, very smart. And I think a lot of people regret even doubting Cole for that. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, it is the bigger picture. Yeah, we want to see feuds. We want to see rappers go at it. We don't want to see no kitty and friendship and all that. We want to see people battle. We want to see people go at it. But at the end of the day, if you're the bigger person, do you know how to play that the right way? And the way Drake and Kendrick did, it wasn't really the right way. Kendrick kind of did it the right way, technically, but it was a two-sided thing, because let's be honest, if it was anybody else but Drake, this would not be happening at this level for Kendrick. Drake is the biggest target in the game. He is the highest target. He is the #1 rapper in the game. So when Kendrick dismantled him, of course his stock went up. But if it was anybody else, it wouldn't be a thing. I'm just telling you. And Kendrick has proven to be pretty much proven to be Drake's kryptonite. So I don't really see a world where they come out of it without the fans kind of just giving them a break for a minute. Now Cole is in the front run, so we're going to see what happens this year. Only time will tell. If he caps us off with a nice album for 2025, that will finish the story and he will come out the victor. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all had a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy life. Life is short. I appreciate y'all watching. Please hit that like button, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.